Welcome to another video with PulseFeed 360. We have a very vital thing to share with you today. Stay with us, watch to the end, and enjoy. Let's get right into it.
The United States has confirmed the deployment of a small team of American troops to Nigeria, marking the first official acknowledgment of U.S. forces operating on Nigerian soil since Washington carried out airstrikes on suspected terrorist targets on Christmas Day. The disclosure was made on Tuesday by Gen. Dagvin Anderson, the commander of the United States Africa Command, AFRICOM, during a press briefing in Dakar, Senegal. According to the U.S. military chief, the deployment followed renewed security discussions between both countries aimed at strengthening efforts to combat terrorism in West Africa. This development comes after President Donald Trump ordered airstrikes in December on locations he described as Islamic State targets in Nigeria. Purpose of the U.S. deployment. Gen. Anderson explained that the decision to send troops was the result of mutual agreement between Nigeria and the United States that existing measures were not sufficient to address the growing terrorist threat in the region. That has led to increased collaboration between our nations to include a small U.S. team that brings some unique capabilities from the United States, Anderson told journalists. Although the general did not disclose the exact size of the team or the full scope of its mission, security analysts believe the troops are likely involved in intelligence support, advisory roles, surveillance, and counter-terrorism coordination, rather than direct combat operations. Surveillance operations and regional security. Prior to the confirmation, Reuters had reported that the United States had been conducting aerial surveillance flights over Nigeria from Ghana since at least late November. These operations were reportedly focused on monitoring extremist groups operating across Nigeria and the wider West African region, where insurgent activities have intensified in recent years. The region continues to face threats from armed groups linked to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda, particularly in the Lake Chad Basin and parts of northern Nigeria, where Boko Haram and his West Africa province, ISWAP, remain active. Nigeria confirms U.S. presence. Nigeria's defense minister, Christopher Musa, also confirmed that a U.S. team is currently working in the country. However, like the U.S. officials, he declined to provide additional details regarding the mission's structure, duration, or operational mandate. The limited disclosure is consistent with the sensitive nature of military and intelligence cooperation between nations. What this means for Nigeria. The deployment signals a deepening military partnership between Nigeria and the United States at a time when security challenges are becoming increasingly complex. While Nigerian authorities have consistently emphasized national sovereignty, collaboration with international partners is seen as critical in tackling terrorism, arms trafficking, and cross-border insurgency. For observers, the presence of U.S. troops, however, highlights Washington's growing concern about instability in West Africa and its potential global security implications. As events continue to unfold, Nigerians and the international community will be watching closely to see how this cooperation impacts the fight against terrorism and regional security efforts. U.S. troops in Nigeria are not here to fight. Defense Minister Musa sets the record straight. The federal government has shut down the rumors, making it clear that U.S. military personnel in Nigeria are not combat troops. They are strictly advisors, brought in at Nigeria's request to provide intelligence and training support, nothing more. Defense Minister Gen. Christopher Musa confirmed that the team is small and focused solely on counter-terrorism cooperation. The APC has also fired back at critics, insisting the partnership does not undermine Nigeria's sovereignty and that every action is fully controlled and coordinated by the Nigerian government.
Welcome back to PulseFeed 360. We're thrilled to share our latest growth updates and new features. Dive in and discover what's new today.